My name is Ethan. The story happened in October of 2016 when 4 of my friends and I took a weekend hiking trip up in northern New Hampshire. More specifically, the White Mountains. We were all college students at a fairly local university, which if you're from or familiar with New Hampshire, you know how beautiful the mountains are in the fall. It was me, Kyle, Danielle, Mason, and Jake. All being students in New Hampshire, we were all pretty experienced with trails. Nothing insane like technical climbing or backcountry survival, but enough to where we'd seen our fair share in the woods prior. We picked a trail that's not too popular to avoid foliage tourists, planning to camp halfway up and finish by late Sunday. The first day was completely normal, cold, crisp air, quiet even. We made camp that night without any issue. The sun set normal timing for the season, around 6 p.m. We built a fire just off the trail, cooked, had a few beers, and went to bed in our 2 tents, guys in one, Danielle in the other. That's around the time that everything truly started. Around 2 a.m., I woke up to what I thought were footsteps. Not like heavy stomping or anything, but soft, slow crunches in the leaves, just outside the tent. As I said, we'd seen our fair share in the woods before this trip. I figured it was a deer, or maybe even a black bear, sniffing around if we were really unlucky, but then it stopped and stayed quiet for way too long. I held my breath, trying to listen. Then Mason, who was next to me, whispered, "You hear that too?" I said, "Yeah." We were both just stayed frozen. Then a twig snapped. Not random. This sounded deliberate, like someone stepping right outside the tent. Kyle, still half asleep, mumbled, "Chill, it's probably just an animal." But it didn't feel like that. You know that feeling when you could swear someone's watching you? After a bit, it went silent again. I don't know how long we laid there, but I finally drifted off. The next morning I asked Danielle if she heard anything. She looked at me weirdly, saying, "I thought that was one of you guys walking around." That definitely creeped me out. We searched the area, but we didn't see any signs of anything. Just some disheveled leaves that could have been tracks, maybe. But, I mean, it's the woods. It's nearly impossible just to say based off of that alone. We kept hiking that day, climbing higher up into the range. The trees got sparser, and the trail narrowed. That's when Kyle stopped and said, "Yo, do you see that?" We all looked ahead. I swear to God, standing maybe 60 feet off the trail, deep into the woods, was someone, just barely visible, wearing something dark, not moving. Jake waved over and yelled hello, I guess trying to be friendly. We all looked over at him, probably wondering what the hell he was doing. Whoever or whatever it was, they didn't respond. They didn't even flinch. Mason brought up how it was likely just another hiker. It's October, during all the foliage. If there's any time for people to be here hiking or camping, like us, it's now. But I don't know, it just still didn't feel right. No gear, no pack, just standing there still. I swear to God, just watching us. Then out of nowhere, they just walked away. Not down the trail or anywhere that made sense, just into the woods, barely even making a sound. We were all super freaked out after that, but not Mason. He seemed stuck on the idea that it was just another hiker. Man, we should have just turned around right then and there, but we didn't. That night we set up camp again, only a little higher up this time, still on the trail, but in a tight cluster of pines. We barely talked. None of us wanted to admit how weird things were getting. Mason kept trying to reassure us, but I could tell it was even starting to get to him too. Around midnight, I woke up to rustling. Not footsteps this time. Running. Like something darting back and forth with the brush. It made no sense. I slightly unzipped the tent and peeked out. Just barely. Only enough to not be seen. I'll never forget his voice when he whispered, "Dude, there's someone out there." He waved me over, and when I looked, I caught a glimpse of something, just slipping behind a tree. It was a face, just a face, but it pulled back like it was hiding, and high up, really, really high up. This thing had to be extremely tall. I mean, at least 6'6", if not taller. What the hell is that? I was praying this was just a dream. We were all just seeing something. We were still drunk from the beers we had at the fire. Then Danielle started yelling from her tent. I think my heart dropped down to my feet. I looked over at Kyle and I could tell the same thing happened to him. But nothing. No noise. No more running. Nothing. We ran over to Danielle, realizing she must have scared it off. She was in her tent, holding bear spray, crying to herself. Comforted her and brought her over to our tent. We sat up all night, taking turns watching. Nothing else happened though. As soon as sunlight hit, we packed up fast. The worst part was the hike out. We had to have been less than a mile from the trailhead when we realized Jake wasn't with us. At first we thought he was just behind. He liked to stop and take photos, but that made no sense. Why the hell would he be taking photos during such a moment this was? He was helping us to watch the tent. He knew what was out there. 10 minutes turned into 30, then an hour. We split up a little to look, looping back, yelling his name. We never found him. No answer, no tracks, no sounds, no gear, nothing. We called search and rescue, the school, local police, everything. They combed the area for days. Drones, dogs, helicopters, nothing. It's nearly a decade later. Jake is still missing to this day. His phone last pinged near the trail the same morning that we lost him. They ruled it an unsolved disappearance, likely even a blackbird, they said. But here's the part I haven't told anyone. Not the police, not his parents. A week later, I got an airdrop request on my phone while I was home. It said Jake's iPhone. The image came through was pitch black, but then I brightened it, and there was something. Long limbs. Really, really goddamn long. A face that looked directly into the camera, and the smile stretched wider than physically possible. It was taken out in those trees, where we saw that figure. The timestamp, 3:11 a.m., the night after Jake disappeared. I don't know what the hell we saw out there. I don't know if I'm going insane. I own a home now and work a job a state away. I still hear things in the woods behind my house. Sometimes I think I do even in my house. I haven't spoken to anyone in the group much since we graduated, except for Danielle. She claims to still hear and see things as well, like she's being followed. Apparently Kyle tells her the same. If we're not going insane, and it wasn't a bear like the police say, then we're being stalked by something, or someone, maybe even more than one, even after all these years, and something tells me it doesn't plan on stopping anytime soon. I don't know if Jake is dead, if he's alive, somewhere maybe being tortured. I have no idea, but I swear, sometimes the noises I hear in the woods, behind or in my home, it's his voice. I know it is. It's always calling out to me, yelling for help, to come find him. If you plan on hiking in New Hampshire, don't go off the trail, and do not ignore that feeling when you know you're being watched, because I promise you, you are. I don't know what the hell is out there, or who it is, what they want, but it is, and it took Jake.